was invited by the police academy to give the sensitivity training for 1 year to the cadets of the academy. For 1 year. I dropped everything. For these kind of trainings, any work we do not charge any money. All we want is to educate the law enforcement so that they know what is going on. Obviously, this is a story of Abdullah, the officer that detained him, didn't know anything about what jihad means, what Abdullah was, where he was going. He didn't believe anything. All he knew was Abdullah was a terrorist. And I was hired, I was retained by them, and I was so glad. I dropped everything. I traveled a lot. I dropped all my travels for every Wednesday for the whole year to give these trainings. The first 2 trainings over there went well. The 3rd training was very rough. 50, 60 officers sitting there, and constantly, they were arguing with me, anything I was saying. The supervisors were there, they couldn't stop them. This was a requirement of their job. To keep their job, this is a requirement to go through these trainings, like any other training that they have to go through for their continuing education. They couldn't stop the behavior. And after that, I was told, well, we will call you when you're needed. I never got a call after that. This happened March, end of March. April, first part of April, I received a letter. A letter full of death threats. It was not from any of the police officers of San Antonio. The letter came from Missouri. And I reported to the FBI. FBI came to my office. They picked up the letter. They was going to investigate. But then within a week, the same letter was sent to all of our chapters and their staff. Probably FBI dropped the case, didn't do any investigations, because it was sent to many other people as well. I felt they should have done the investigations. I was told by the FBI, just watch out. Don't stay out too late. I don't stay out too late unless I'm places like this where I'm speaking. I don't go to the parties or the clubs or the bars or any such. And they said, just keep your eyes on your house and your cars, on everything. Well, okay, we were doing that. We asked for extra patrol. The 3rd day, we received a call at 8 o'clock in the morning. My husband was still home, from the neighbor, who's a physician next door. He said, Husain, do you know what happened to your car? Come on out and check it out. Well, we went outside. I had parked the car on the street. I should have brought it in. It never had happened before. And my car was vandalized, completely broken. We called the police. My husband called the police first, and he was told that give the report on the phone. I picked up the phone and I said, I cannot give you the report on the phone. You have to come and see the car. And so finally, the officer arrives. I open the door. I open the door of our house. He looks at me from top to bottom, because I'm in a hijab, right? I cover my hair. And he said, what is Muhammad? That is my husband. And I said, I'm Mrs. You can talk to me. And he goes, no, I'm going to talk to Muhammad. Okay, my husband was behind me. We both walked him out to the car. He looked at the car, and he turns back at me, and he says, this is what happens to you in this country when what your people do, what they do around the world. A police officer who came to take the report and the complaint is telling me this. I'm a citizen of the United States. I pay my taxes. I do my volunteer work. I give employment to hundreds of people because I ran businesses for 30 years. I have done everything I could. When he said that, I had a minute to think, within myself, I'm thinking fast that I better not lose my cool. I'm the one, because if I had lost my temper, he would have taken me in. Who knows what he would have done? So I asked him, I said, why do you say this? And he goes, well, am I right or wrong? I said, you're completely wrong. Have you seen me doing anything? Have I done anything in San Antonio? You check my record. Do I even have one traffic violation ticket on my record? I proudly say my record is squeaky clean. Why do you say this to me? And he goes, well, you people are like this, you people are like that, you may not be like that, majority of the Muslims are like that, this is what your religion teaches, you are here to take over our country. He went on and on. This is the police, the law enforcement who was saying this. And you know, wherever I go, when I get into this rut, one name I always bring up, who's doing this in San Antonio? That is John Hagee. My friend Red is here. He goes and fights with that. And I said, this is John Hagee who's teaching all this here, and this is what is happening in San Antonio. You know, I started saying, he said, you cannot say that about Hagee because I go to his church. I knew where he was coming from. And then he looked at me, he said, wait a minute, I know you. And I said, you do? And I'm thinking, oh my God, now he's going to tell me he has seen me doing something wrong. And he tells me, I have seen your picture in the paper. That is you. You look so different in the paper. I said, well, that is camera. That's not me who made me look different, but I'm the same person. So he must have read my profile that was in Express News. And then he goes, he said, no, no, no. I've seen you somewhere else. And I said, oh boy, this is not over yet. Still, he has not taken the report of what had happened, okay? And then he goes, you were at the police academy. And I said, yeah, I was at the police academy. And he goes, I was sitting in that class. And I said, oh boy. Either I have not done a good job, or you didn't want to hear. Were you one of those who opposed my coming there? Did any